Hi, Debbie Barnett here, and we're going to take a look at how to do the second exercise in the exercise room at I Love Mahj. I'm going to click on the Charleston practice and launch exercise. Now make sure that you have the 2025 card checked if that's what you're using. And you can also choose your bot level. I want to talk about the bot level for just a moment because I do recommend that you play at level 2 or even at level 3. When playing against a level 1 bot, they're going to make some poor choices during the Charleston by passing things that may be recommended not to pass or that a level 2 or level 3 player bot would not pass, such as passing pairs or passing flowers quite often. And by playing with a level 1 bot and seeing their behavior, you may think that this is okay for you to do as well. Now, depending on how you learned, depending on your instructor, you may have been taught things like try not to pass flowers during the Charleston because they're needed in, I believe it's like 31% of the hands. And you don't know if you're going to need a flower from the get-go. You have no idea until maybe you're further along into the Charleston or even into the game that you're not going to be playing a hand with a flower. And you probably would have been taught not to pass a pair in the Charleston. Now, there could be a situation where you get stuck having to pass a pair, but in most cases, that can be prevented, and you could choose not to pass that pair. You could break it up. If you get used to playing with the beginner bots, you might start forming, like I said, some of these habits. However, I do want to say that if you start with level 1 bots and you can recognize the things that they are doing that you shouldn't be doing, it will afford you more mahjongs. And that's not a bad thing when you're first learning to play as a beginner. After all, it's exciting to make mahjong and it'll boost your confidence. But seriously, and I say this and I really mean it, if you start making a lot of mahjongs, don't stay at level 1. Move up to level 2 and then eventually level 3. All right, so I'm going to stay at level 2 for this exercise. And I'm going to go ahead and click Start Exercise.
Charleston.
Now, I always sort my tiles by suit, not by rank. That's just my preference. And I usually put Winds and Dragons to the right. The first thing I do after I get my tiles sorted, and if I had any flowers, I'd leave them on the left because that's where they are in all of the hands for this year's card, the 2025 card. And the first thing I do when I sort my tiles is take a look at the multiples that I have in my hand. And I do have a pair of 3s and a pair of 7s, and that's great. And I also have a pair of 4s. So for me, when I see these 3 pairs, I'm going to try to work around them before I do anything else. Sometimes pairs don't help us, but in most cases they do. So with the 3 and the 7, I might want to keep the 5 bam because this is all the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 category. With the 4 crack, if I stick this over here next to the 3, I see a run of 2 different suits. So now I'm going to look to see if I have any other numbers that work out in a run. And I do have a 2, 3, 4, which is a part of a mixed suit run that you can find in the consecutive run section, actually line number 3 on the right side. Now I also Might want to keep the 3 crack because that also would work out within a run. If, for instance, I got 1 dots, I could actually keep an eye on 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 crack. That would be pretty cool too. So I've got some good stuff going on here with a bit of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then some mixed suit run combinations with 2 or possibly 3 suits. I do know, based on having looked at this much here, that I could get rid of the West, and I probably won't keep the 9, even though the 9 is part of the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 family, unless there are other things I can get rid of, because I'm already keeping track of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in one suit. But let me take a look and see if there is something I can get rid of and then keep that. But I think there is. The 4 dot and the 1 crack would work out just fine for me at this point. And I think I have enough that I'm keeping track of. Actually, I might even keep the 1 because of the fact that the 1 connects, if you have a 2 crack, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll keep that and do the 8 bam instead. Now I'll take a look at what I got in to see if I got anything else in that connects any of these tiles. And let's see, I did get a 1 dot where I could possibly keep an eye on 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe I mentioned that before. So that would be a possibility. I think right now I want to keep everything here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these 3. And I did get another 4 in, so that's nice. That's building the 1, 2, 3, 4 nicely. And it's also building the mixed suit run 2, 3, 4 very nicely. I'm going to stick that like that. So what could I get rid of here? I don't think I'm going to keep the West, of course. I don't think I still can keep the 1 if I want, because again, of the possible connection here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 100% sure. I do, at this point, based on what I'm getting here with the pung of 4s, these multiple 4s, that I'm going to break this 7 up. I remember earlier I said sometimes the pairs don't help us in the long run based on what I got in. I think I'm going to go ahead and break that up, and I'm going to get rid of the 1 crack. Now, at that first left juncture, you could have done a blind pass, and it'll always tell you right in the middle of the screen. So make sure that you keep an eye on when it tells you you could pass 0 to 3 tiles. But now I'm here where it says, do I want to continue with the Charleston? And if I have 3 tiles to pass, I definitely want to continue the Charleston, because I will have the potential of looking at another 12 tiles. 3, 6, 9 for the second left, across, and last right, and then another potential 3 during the optional. So I definitely want to continue it, and I don't have only 1 hand.
Second Charleston.
So I'm going to go ahead and pass this and this. We'll work that out. And it does say here I'm on the second left. So I'm going to hit pass. Did I get anything else in that would help any of what I am keeping track of? Well, I did get another 4 now. I got a little tiny bit of maybe like numbers with 4s. I mean, there is a hand that's pretty challenging, second hand from the bottom, consecutive run. That could be a possibility. I'm really, really weak on that hand, so I'm not going to keep an eye on that at all. I know I passed a 7 earlier. Let's see, maybe the 5 would be better choice than to pass that 7, which I did pass earlier, and that 7 could, a pair could get in somebody's hand. So I think I'll do the 5. And again, I didn't get anything in that I wanted.
Courtesy pass.
Nope, nothing here. So I'm going to say 3. And on my optional, I actually got another tile. I actually got 2 tiles. Okay, so here's what we could keep an eye on. Hopefully, I'm going to get flowers during the game so that I can consider playing the mixed suit run of 2 dot, 3 bam, and 4 crack. Now I only need a pair, so I wouldn't need that extra one there. That would be line 3 on the right side. That's very pretty. But also we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the 2 suit run, consecutive run, line 2 on the right side. So that would be 2B. That's really nice as well. I even have some like numbers going on with 3s or like numbers with 4s. Nice. The more you can keep your eye on and the more flexible and open you can be, the more chances you're going to have to mahjong for sure. Now let's look at this screen here. It says I have 8 tiles towards mahjong. So we could take a look at the hands that they see. Consecutive run line 7, which is the one that I had said to you I don't have a whole lot of right now, but they're still seeing that, 8 tiles towards that. So let's see if I could put that together. Now that I did that, got those 2 tiles in on the optional, I'm going to take a look to see what I have. Okay, I do see where they have that hand where they're telling me I have 7. So I would need for that line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Here's how that would play out. You got to be careful with the hand suggestions because they don't take into consideration the difficulty of the hand. Does it have singles and pairs? That's the 7 right there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for that hand. But I would need to have a single 2, a single 4 bam, a single 2 bam, 4 bam, 5 bam, and a pair of 4 bams. Because if you read in parentheses for that hand, the pair can be in any position, but the kongs match the pair. So I would have to have a pair of 4 bams. So that hand, even though I have 7 tiles toward it, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Now they also gave me consecutive run line 8, which is the very bottom hand, and that's a concealed hand. So let's look at that one and see what they're looking at for that one. Okay, so for that bottom hand, this is what they're suggesting with 7 tiles, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. So what they're suggesting for the bottom concealed hand with 8 tiles toward it is right here. And we would be missing a pair of flowers to start. Then after the 2 would be a pair of 3 dots. And then for this 3 and 4, I would need a single 1 crack. So this does not take into consideration the difficulty of the hand. Let's see what else they're suggesting. Singles and pairs line 4 with 8 tiles toward it. I have no jokers. Not a bad idea to keep track of a singles and pairs hand. Line 4 would be like this. Oh, I don't need that. It would be 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 tiles there. Again, lots of pieces missing for that. I would need way more in my hand and I can keep track of it, certainly if I want to, if I'm able to keep track of some of the easier hands. My point is that this hands that have the most tiles, even if the hands are the more difficult hands to make. And for me, I would much rather keep an eye on much safer hands. Certainly, if I'm able to keep those tiles and also keep an eye on a more difficult hand, I would end up doing it. But for me, I'm going to keep an eye on 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. I'm going to also keep track of the mixed suit run 2, 3, 4. So I do need the 1 because of the 1, 2 dot, 3 crack, 4 crack. And right now, I'll move that here. Right now, I have 2 tiles that I could start discarding. And so anywhere from 1 to 4 tiles left for discards is great. It's a great position to be in, and it shows me that you have a lot of good stuff to keep track of. Good news is I can certainly keep track of that line 4 singles and pair, and even the bottom concealed consecutive run hand. But I want to make sure that I'm going to have some easier hands that don't require multiple pairs and single tiles to make. So here it is, and this is a perfect way to end up after the Charleston with just a couple of tiles to start discarding. Now, I could certainly play through this game, but this is not about teaching. And I'm throwing a little bit of that in while I'm teaching you these exercises, of course. But the purpose of this really is to show you how to use this Charleston practice. And you can replay with the same tiles to see if you get better results or not so great results by what you chose. Again, you want to not end up with more than 4 tiles for a discard. That would be the optimal way to end the Charleston, which really shows me that you've collected good tiles and were able to keep an eye on multiple things. And you can also click next, which would give you brand new tiles, or you could choose to play through the entire game. So have fun with this exercise, and I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll see you in the next video to go over the third exercise in I Love Mahj.